Yeah, I got a question about an observation I made. So I watched the State of the Union, or as much of it as I could take, and all I heard about was how the evil corporations are price gouging, and they don't pay their fair share, and they pay their tax rates at different rates than working people, and on and on and on. Well, then here we are about a week later, or whatever it is, and the S&P hits a new record high in the Dow, and all of a sudden the narrative now is, how do you like your 401k? Aren't my policies, it's got the economy booming along and everybody's retirement's doing great. Well, isn't that because all the evil corporations are price gouging, so their profits are up? So when you crack down on them, Big Joe, and cut their profits out and make them pay more in taxes, you don't think that's going to affect their stock price at all? I guess that's not really a question for Joe. That would be a question for people who are in the stock market, because the way politicians work, they work in a vacuum. They literally don't hear what they said the day before. They just say whatever they need to say at the time they need to say it. Now, I was watching a Wisconsin basketball game last week, and one of their stars passed up a shot, and he said he normally doesn't pass that shot up. Well, minutes before that, if less than a minute maybe, he said Wisconsin played the most perfect half of basketball I have ever seen them play. And so how could they play the most perfect half of basketball? The guy passed up shots he normally never passed up, but now didn't you just hear? So maybe he should pass up these shots because that's how you play a perfect half of basketball. So it just reminds me of how they don't literally listen to what they just said. What they say right now just stands alone on its own island. And sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't. But if you put it all together and you analyze all of it, a lot of it doesn't make sense. Like, how are you going to build a middle class when you open the border and let everybody come trudging in? That's going to drive wages down. Unless you got people taking advantage of these people, and then that's the middle class that'll get built. But then, you'll be calling them maggots for taking advantage of, these migrants. Even if you put them up in houses, well, you're getting rich off the back of migrants. So how do you build a middle class when you're watering down the middle class? And I just wish more people in this country would understand how things work and how they're interconnected. Because, hell, there was this golf, you can't move your golf ball. And there was this pro golfer, and he went to move a stick that was like 6 inches away from his golf ball, and it touched a leaf that touched another stick or whatever, this chain reaction, and his golf ball moved. Boom. He gets hit with a penalty because he moved his golf ball. Even though he didn't move his golf ball, he moved something miles away from his golf ball that started a chain reaction that caused his golf ball to move. But in golf, you moved your ball, you're busted. In America, you do stupid shit galore. You tell somebody you didn't do it, and then it depends if they want to throw the book at you or not. There's just no continuity to the rules of this game anymore. It's every man for himself, and cover your butt, and you might get out of it all right, and you might not. It just depends. And as a matter of fact, I'm sitting here waiting on a city inspector, so because to build anything, you got to get the approval of everybody, and it takes like 17 rounds of everybody saying it's okay. And heaven help you if you get a different inspector than the last inspector on the same job, because then this guy won't like what the other guy already approved, and you just get to chase your tail, spend a whole bunch of money, and get frustrated. And I don't know what to say about it other than listen to what people said yesterday if they're trying to tell you something today. And if it's different and there's no continuity to it, it probably means they're blowing smoke up your butt. And watch out for people like that. That's what I know about that. All right.